ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गतामहिं वद्दिस्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलान् श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणरघुनाथां यथां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपी च गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna everyone. On this very auspicious day, let us give our best prayers for seeking the best gift. Today being Radhaashtami, the appearance of Shrimati Radharani, let's take a few moments to understand what is the significance of Shrimati Radharani. When we can start with the dust of Radharani's feet is once Gaur Govind Maharaj was saying the easiest path is to ask for dust from the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. When shall I get it and put that dust on my head? When will that day come when I'll be a maid servant of Srimati Radharani? So this shows the mood uh, of great saintly Vaishnavas. What are they aspiring is the dust of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. It is so powerful. Yeah, it is so powerful. Do you pray for it? Maharaj is asking. You have to pray. That's the only prayer. When will that day come that I'll reside on the banks of the river Yamuna? Because Yamuna river is the favorite of Srimati Radharani. She used to take her bath in the Yamuna river. If I stay, if I stay there and get her kind association, then she may listen to my prayer. Hey Radhe, O Radharani, please shower your mercy on me. I'm your maid servant, Dasi. Are you a maid servant of Radharani? Become one. Become a maid servant of Srimati Radharani. Otherwise, you cannot get Krishna. O Radhe, O Srimati Radharani, please shower your mercy on me. I am your Dasi. I am your maid servant. Please accept me as such and shower your mercy on me. This is our prayer. And then there was a devotee who asked, what is the best way to pray to Srimati Radharani? For this, Gaur Govind Maharaj said, chanting Hare Krishna. Devotee. Many people chant Hare Krishna, but they don't get the dust from Radharani's lotus feet. And then Maharaj is saying, because they don't want it, they never desire it. So how can they get it? One should be very eager to get the mercy of Srimati Radharani, the dust from her lotus feet. Devotee is asking, do we have to pray to the spiritual master, or Gaur Govind Maharaj says, who is the spiritual master? What is his real form? The spiritual master is the girl companion of Srimati Radharani. First approach the spiritual master, then you can approach Radharani, then approach Krishna. Otherwise, it's not possible. So this is from Srimad Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj on 27th April 1989. And then that shows uh, that all our acharyas emphasize the importance of taking shelter of Srimati Radha. And if you see from Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see Vina Radha Prasadena Mana Kripa na labhyate. This is without the mercy of Radharani, no one can get mercy. No one can get my mercy. This is very important. Krishna is saying this. Krishna is saying that if we want to get the mercy of Krishna, then the only way is to approach Radharani. Without the mercy of Radharani, no one can get my mercy. This is a clear statement of Krishna. So if devotees' love is so strong that they serve the Lord as their son, then the Lord also has to reciprocate by exhibiting the mood of an innocent and helpless child. So here we understand that Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Means he's completely independent, and he is the one whom we all should be praying and should be aspiring to serve him. But how can he be accessible? It is through uh, Srimati Radharani. When we are praying to Mother, then it becomes easier to approach and render service to the Father. One may ask the question, no, why not? Why not directly approach Father? Father, uh, if you see, Mother is more kind-hearted, compassionate, and may, out of love, can uh, ignore the 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 shortcomings or faults or mistakes uh, one may commit in the service, mm, and give the opportunity because after all, when we get the opportunity, then only we can render service. And when we are rendering service, then we understand what mistakes, offenses are we committing, and then we again pray to the Mother to forgive for whatever and give the strength that I can this time once again render service. And through this process, one can actually get the service opportunity. Otherwise, it's not possible. This is what here we see that. Um, but then in today's world, yeah, how to understand the position of Radharani, especially it's getting more and more difficult because we do not understand the true position of Srimati Radharani, and there is also so much advertisement that is going on about the Rasa Lila, in form of Rasa Lila, that Krishna is the paramour and Radharani or all the gopis are serving him. So, but is that everything? How can we understand this when we are seeing through with our mundane eyes? So, the transcendental loving relationship between Radha and Krishna is very, very pure and transcendental. So, first of all, to understand the purity, what purity do we have? To understand the transcendental nature of the relationship between Radha and Krishna. Uh, what position are we in? Are we transcending the modes of material nature? No. So the pure loving relationship between Radha and Krishna has been misunderstood by many. And when we are talking about many, we are also part of that many, because we also have no clue about the supreme relationship between the um, the Lordship Radha and Krishna. Uh, and then when we want to understand this loving affairs between Radha and Krishna, so we need also have qualification. We need to have some kind of qualities uh, and understanding first of all that Krishna and Radha are not material beings but transcendental spiritual beings. When we understand that they are spiritual, then our way of what do we call judging uh, them or their relationship, this propensity will go because we are seeing only from mundane perspective, and uh, uh, that makes us finding uh, faults, and this can actually become more problematic because by this misunderstanding, misidentifying, and Because of this, we commit so many offenses. Yeah. When we do not understand them, the way that we may think is not right, and when we think not proper, then we are committing offense. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, avajananti ma modha manushim tanam ashrita param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. So, because of not knowing that Lord can also take a human form. Yeah. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as a supreme Lord of all that be. So, with our foolishness, what we think that, hey, it's not possible that Lord can appear in the human form. Uh, that's why foolish people do not understand that Lord's transcendental nature. When uh, the Lord is transcendental, we don't understand what does it mean. We don't even understand what is the transcendental nature means, and that's why when the Lord descends uh, from his spiritual abode to exhibit his wonderful pastimes, uh, we do not understand properly. Uh, um, and when we don't understand properly, we cannot appreciate the, mm, the pastimes of the Lord. Uh, he appears for the benefit of the populace that they can benefit. Yeah, but we do not understand it that way. Uh, the reason why Lord descends to the material world is to attract the conditioned living entities to come back to his home, to the spiritual world. How many of us understand this? We don't understand. Huh? When what is the mm, purpose? Yeah, Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, "Janma karma cha me divyam, yamam yo ved tattvataha, vikta deham punarjanma, naitamameti sa Arjuna." So Krishna is saying that one who understands the intricate meaning of my appearance and my pastimes, they come back to my abode, which means go back to the spiritual world. How many of us able to understand it? It's not possible. When people hear the sweet pastimes of the Lord, their heart will be cleansed and they will be free from material desires and get attracted to God, to go back to Godhead. How many of us have this attraction? We are only kind of want liberation from suffering, but not attraction to be with our eternal master and engage in serving him in his abode. Srimad Bhagavatam is saying, Anugrahaya bhaktana manusham deham asita bhajate tadrishi krida ya sutva tat paro bhavet. Lord Krishna descends apparently as a human being and he exhibits his transcendental pastimes in Vrindavan so that the conditioned soul may be attracted to hear his transcendental activities. Um, there are so many wonderful activities, and these activities actually, when we hear them, it bewilders us. How is it possible? Our Lord is exhibiting uncommon activities which are not common. When these are not common, how can we understand them? Huh? And at the same time, he also performs common activities. And when he performs common activities, we reject them. We nullify the uh, uncommon activities, thinking that hey, it's not possible. The superhuman activities are not possible, and human activities are not possible for the Lord. So in that way, we create our remits to understand His leelas. Hmm. For example, when Lord Ram in Treta Yuga, yeah, he was going through a turmoil of separation from Sita Devi uh, when Ravan takes her to Lanka, right? And this, hey, how come if he's Lord, how can he act or how can he have emotions like a common man? Or when we talk about Krishna stole butter, became frightened to see the stick or in hand of Mother Yashoda. Is he Lord? We thought Lord is fearless, but here we see he's scared. The Vedic scriptures inform us that the Lord has unlimited good qualities and no bad qualities. And then here we are talking about bad qualities. When we're talking about fear, fear is a bad quality. Madhurya Kadamani, it is described there are 18 human shortcomings. Some of them are illusion, sleepiness, uncivility, lust, greed, madness, envy, cruelty, lamentation, over endeavor, deceit, anger, desire, fear, mistakes, intolerance, and dependence. So, and the Lord is, and scriptures are saying that Lord doesn't have these shortcomings. But then sometimes we see he exhibits these kind of qualities. Hmm, yeah. How to reconcile all these things? On one side, we say God should be um, not longing for love, hmm, should not be scared. Uh, uh, so our acharyas, they say, explain that these qualities are exhibited sometimes within God during his human pastimes to please his devotees. And how to understand this? Why? Because Lord is Raseshwara, means he enjoys relishing mellows with every part and parcel of him, which means with every living entity. Yeah, he he is reciprocating, and which means if a person or a living being is asking that I want to serve the Lord as my son, then the Lord, out of affection, out of reciprocation, he is becoming son of so and so devotee. And becoming son means that he follows what his parents say. Uh, so in that way, the Lord is sometimes acting in his leelas as a common human being, and sometimes, yeah, if someone, yeah, is saying that okay, um, sometimes exhibits common feelings of what do we call this anger. Sometimes he has to also show anger. If the Lord becomes parent. Uh, if someone is saying, "Hey Lord, may you be my parent or brother," or where there is this vatsalya bhav, which means then the parents have to control to be strict. Um, then these different qualities are mm, demonstrated by the Lord, and in that way, this relationship between the devotee and the Lord is maintained. So this we have to understand only through what? Through the scriptures and through the commentaries given by acharyas, and then we can understand that because here in this situation, in this pastime, the Lord is reciprocating in bhakta vatsalya ras. Okay, then that's why he's exhibiting anger. Yeah. Um, but people in general, we do not understand this logic and develop a wrong impression about God's activities. And this is uh, not only that, okay, Christians are not appreciating or Islam, Muslims are not appreciating, even in Hindus, we do not have understanding of this. And that's why the way that we understand is uh, mm, uh, not pure, not proper. No? So in that way, when we talk about Krishna, already his uncommon activities, we think that hey, these may not be the case. It could be some poetic expressions or some prose the writers have exaggerated. But after all, how is it possible that someone can jump from the hill and still do not break his legs? Huh? How come that a child who is just days old can do all these leelas? It could be maybe a nice, uh, captivating novel, Bhagavatam. No, it's not the case. Uh, God has many uncommon superhuman activities that we cannot understand, and He also has performed so many common activities, even those we cannot understand. Because of not understanding both of these, so what are we doing? We are just thinking, hey, it's not my matter. No, I'm not able to understand. Or it could be not a fact. Hmm. So in that way, what is happening is we are delimiting or we are seeing Lord within our understanding and saying what is to be accepted, what is not to be accepted. Hmm. Yeah. But when we can't understand Krishna, it's even more difficult to understand Shrimati Radharani. Sometimes people of other faiths take advantage of this kind of activities, especially there are so many people. They'll just say, "Hey, Hindus, what is Hindus? Hindu gods, what is that? Uh, they have um many wives. Uh, there is Krishna. See what he does when he even when he was a boy in his youth. What are these activities? Uh, and they preach that Krishna is not a god. They see, hey, this looks like a common man. Yeah? Flirting is a common thing. Stealing is a common thing. The material thing. And they even blaspheme him by finding serious mistakes within the Lord. If we go into Quora, if we go into Google, or if you go into any place, there are so many debates discussed. Hey, is Krishna dharmic to do like that? Huh? And thus, people in general are creating offenses, either knowingly or unknowingly. So this will only the means of understanding Krishna and his pastimes is not through this, is not through speculation. So this is our tendency because we think that okay, I have already understood so many things. I can spin a thought, and with that spin a thought, I can also come to a conclusion and say that yes, yeah, Krishna, yeah, he's God, but he's not God overall. I think he is maybe has done some wonderful pastimes. He can be categorized as superhuman, but not more than that. Uh, or uh, so many ways of our and Chetan Charitamrita in Adi Lila, Srila Prabhupada, his purport is mentioning about Radha and Krishna. Forget about only Krishna. Krishna itself is difficult to understand. What about Radha and Krishna? He says the two transcendentalists, Radha and Krishna, are a puzzle to materialists. To understand them is a big puzzle. Huh? In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.18, it is stated the Lord is, so to speak, a puzzle for the common man. So Bhagavatam is already mentioning that for common man uh, who is prone with four short, what do we call it, shortcomings. Uh, One is finding faults, one is committing offense, one is illusion, cheating propensity. So for such a common man to understand Lord is a puzzle. We can never truly understand Radha and Krishna in our conditioned state of mind. That is our position. How can we see unlimited with our limited uh, capacities? But still, by the description of scriptures and explanation given by great acharyas, we can understand them and their loving relationship to some extent, which will help us to develop faith in them. So at the moment, we are losing faith in the Lord's pastime because we are trying to put all those pieces of jigsaw puzzle and then we start saying, yeah, no, I don't see a form, I don't see a pattern, I don't see something I can uh, comprehend. So that's not the right approach. The approach is here is mentioned that we should have this hearing from great acharyas and great acharyas like Sri Rupa Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, uh, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Prabhupada have clearly mentioned, elaborately explained, so that we can, by their mercy, can understand the glories of Radha and Krishna. Mm. Aprakrita vastu nahe prakrita gochara. What does this mean? Aprakrita, a transcendental thing cannot be understood by Prakrita Gochara. So we cannot understand Veda Puranete Yei Kahe Nirantara. Well, the spiritual substance is never within the jurisdiction of material conception. This is always the verdict of the Vedas and Puranas. Huh? So this transcendental subject matter is not so easy. Uh, uh, People are learning so many things, right? So for a computer course, I don't have to go to institute. I can just practice, learn, and by that self-learning, self-teaching, and all these things. But transcendental subject matter is not like that. Transcendental subject matter has to come from transcending uh, source, which is from the spiritual world through Shruti and Smriti. Yeah, so through Vedas we can understand, but how can we understand the Vedas properly? Through the acharyas, through their commentaries, through their tikas. Yeah. So all the activities of living entity in this material world are performed by the influence of three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. But there is no influence of three modes of nature upon the activities of God. So when we are seeing the activities and comparing activities of the Lord, we are seeing within the understanding of, oh, Lord is in the mode of passion, Lord is in the mode of goodness, Lord is in the mode of ignorance. No, He is the master of all these, and He is beyond all this. He is the Ishwar, Parameshwar, who is the controller of all these things. And Krishna says, Naham prakasa sarvasya yogamaya samavrita muda yam nabijanati lokamam ajam avyayam. I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency. This is very important. And therefore, they do not know that I am unborn, ajam, and avyayam. Vyayam means um, to eventually perish, but avyayam, infallible. The Lord is saying that I am infallible and I am unborn. How can we understand? Only faithful people can understand. Why? Because he's saying, I never manifest to foolish and unintelligent. Intelligence of us, what does this mean? Intelligence is to understand our identity. Intelligence is to understand that, okay, I am having shortcomings of this anarthas in my heart. Uh, Intelligence is to surrender to the Lord. That is intelligence. And otherwise, one is fool. So, who can understand the Lord is described in Chetan Charitamrita. Ishwarera Kripa Lesa Hayata Yahare Saita Ishvara Tattva Jani Bare Pare. If one receives but a tiny bit of Lord's favor by dint of devotional service, he can understand the nature of the Supreme Person of Godhead. This is from Chetan Charitamrita. What does it mean? Srila Prabhupada said, we can see the sun only through its sun's rays. The example given here is, even if you have a big torchlight and you turn on the torchlight in the night, you cannot see the sun. Sun can be seen by what? Only the sun rays. When the sun rays falls, then we can see, okay, sun is there. So otherwise we cannot see the sun by our endeavor by using any torch. As only by the help of sunlight can we see the sun. In the same way, only by the mercy of the Lord can we understand Him. Isn't it so important to know this? We may find so many means, but to understand Lord, only if His mercy is there, then only we can. We thought qualifications are the means to achieve success. What is the qualifications? Here it is actually the mercy. It is only one can attain this mercy by Tatya anukampam susamikshamanam bhunjaya evatma kritam vipakam hrid vak vapur bhir vidanam namaste. Hrid vak vapur bhir vidanam namaste means that one who is with uh, body, mind, and word, hrid, vak, and heart, vapur, offering obeisance and engaging in service, uh, vijeti daya bhak. I forgot the word. It says that one who is endeavoring all the difficulties of life but is offering service, only he is a rightful heir to the mercy of the Lord. So the mercy of the Lord is so important. How can one attract such mercy? Is by engaging in devotional service. So if we want to know the Lord, it is possible only by devotional service. Otherwise, no chance. So And that is the reason we see also the prayers when we are offering to Guru. Hmm. And also that devotee was asking Gaur Govind Maharaj that what should we approach spiritual master? The spiritual master he is the potency representative of Srimati Radharani, hmm, so that we can get the mercy. So as I was mentioning that how can we approach Krishna is only through Srimati Radharani. How can we approach is by the guidance of the spiritual master, by the blessings of spiritual master, by the mercy of the spiritual master. So we rely so much on the spiritual master. Here it's a Divya Jnana Hriday Prakashita. So we are praying to Prabhupada, yeah, Guru Puja, where we are every day reciting Divya Jnana Hriday Prakashita. This Divya Jnana, which is the transcendental knowledge, uh, where it lights up or brightens up is in our heart, not in our mind. So even if we are taking the shelter of Vedas, Shrutis and Smritis, but if we do it speculation, which means using our mind, our brain, we cannot understand. Huh? It manifests in the heart, and that too by the mercy of the spiritual master. Huh? Divya Gyan does not manifest in the brain. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14-29, Brahma has said, Atapite deva padambuja dvaya prasada lesangurihita eva hi chanati tattvam bhagavan mahimno na chanyo ekapi chiram vichin one. What does it mean is, my lord, if one is favored by even a slight trace of mercy of your lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality. But those who speculate to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead are unable to know you, even though they continue to study the Vedas for many years. So, though we are saying the Smriti and Smriti, the Vedas are the means to understand, but how is it going to help? Even if one continues uh, through speculation, one is not able to know, even though they continue to study the Vedas for many years. Because when we start getting knowledge, we think that, okay, I know little, I can guess more, and then I can complete the perfect knowledge. No, that's not possible. Why? Because the nature of the Lord is what? Janma karma chame divyam. The Lord's appearance and his activities are divyam, means transcendental, not not material. So Krishna's activities are transcendental, which are not in three modes of material nature. So when his activities are not within three modes of nature, how can we understand him when we are in that jurisdiction? What is that? Um, we cannot understand. So how can we understand the love of between Radha and Krishna? How important it is after all? Uh, don't we see so many love affairs happening? Some are success, some are not success, some are moral, some are immoral. Uh, and is Radha and Krishna's affair, loving exchange, conjugal love, is it dharmic or not? If it was not, then why does it has place in Srimad Bhagavatam? Hmm. The subject is discussed by Sukadev Goswami. Sukadev Goswami, uh, why does he have to bring it up? The loving affair of Radha and Krishna in Bhagavatam. The loving relationship between Radha and Krishna can never be placed in same category as mundane loving relationship. We can be convinced of this by knowing the person who has spoken about this topic. Who is it? Uh, Sukadev Goswami. Sukadev Goswami, who is a brahmachari. What interest he has to discuss about the grahastha life or about love affairs or all these things? Because Sukadev Goswami is describing in the 10th canto about Lord Krishna and Vraja Gopikas. So definitely it is of great importance, especially for one mm, Bhagavat Rasikas who want to understand the Lord, who want to understand Bhakti. Uh, so for them it's very important. So this means by discussing the loving pastimes of Radha and Krishna, mm, what one should be aspiring for? Is it for some nice taste? Huh? No, it is for actually understanding uh, the mood of serving the Lord. To what capacity? What are the limits of having a loving relationship with the Lord? What does actually love it means? So all these things. That's why in Srimad Bhagavatam, this topic was discussed among great saints. Sukadeva Goswami is telling uh, when all the rishis are there at Sukatal. Yeah, if their loving relationship was indeed a mundane, so-called love, then this subject would not be discussed. Because if it was not of so important, the sages may not be interested, the speaker may not be interested, but because it is discussed, definitely it's very important. Why? Because this is talking about the topmost subject matter. Yeah, we know that Lord can be served in uh, five ways: Shantaras, Dasiras, Sakyaras, Vatsalyaras, and Madhuryaras. And in that, the though in all these five, service is the essence, but the topmost level of service that one is able to offer to the Lord is Madhuryaras. And Madhuryaras is what is the basis of this? Madhuryaras, we may see, hey, is it a conjugal love affair? Is that uh, not, what do you call it? How can we call that as the topmost? Because the essence that we have to see through is through the light of prema. Because we see that conjugal love is calm, which is attachment, which is lust. That's why we see that, hey, how can lust be considered the top? We are thinking that love is topmost. And for us, actually, we are confused. What is love and what is lust? For a materialist, he may think that lust, when I'm saying I love you, is actually, uh, I'm thinking it is love, but actually that is not love. That love, when I'm asking or when I'm telling or exchanging with someone, that love is based on my own interest. Uh, so that's why uh, we have to understand what is the difference between love and lust. Uh, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we have this Krishnendriya Priti Ichha Dhare Prema Nam. So this is very important. Krishnendriya means to satisfy Krishna's senses is considered prem. Uh, whereas satisfying our senses, mm, karmendriya priti vansha, it's called what? Kam. So we have to understand very clearly what is the difference between prem and kam. And when we put that, then we ourselves can understand, am I loving someone or am actually lusting upon something or someone? So all our relationship, whether it is position, whether it is whether it is
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we cannot hear you.
now?
Yes, Prabhuji. We lost you last minute.
Yeah. So I think there was network issue. So here the point, what we were going through is about understanding the love and lust and what humans usually tend and think that this is love is actually lust, where we think that, oh, I love my parents, I love my children, I love my society, I love my community, I love my work, I love my nature. All these things are actually, we are loving them because we are expecting happiness out of that. So, but in reality, you should actually, I'm saying that I'm lusting after you so much, not I'm loving you so much. So we love each other for a sense gratification. But what is love actually is Krishnendriya. Krishnendriya Preeti Ichha. So if one desires to actually satisfy Lord, then that is what is called prema. Now, so because we are not familiar with this, because we are familiar with only lusty affairs, whatever we start seeing, also we see through that vision. Hmm. The lust arises among living entities in this material world. From what? From the mode of passion. Yeah? Kamesha, Krodesha, Rajoguna, Samudbhava. Rajoguna, Samudbhava. So this lust is coming from where? Uh, and but Lord, who is above all these things, then how can he have calm? Because he's not under the influence of mode of passion. So he's also not in the mode of the effects of it. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only Arjuna, which is born of contact with material mode of nature and later transformed into wrath, and which is all devouring sinful enemy of this world. Hmm. So loving affairs between gopis and Krishna did not take place due to influence of material nature. Uh, So his affairs, the Lord affairs, are transcendental affairs, and which means it's definitely not calm. But because we do not know what is pure love, that's why we are not even able to appreciate that love, and that's why we commit offense. He does not perform his activities by the mode of material nature. Gopi Ganera Prema Ruda Bhava Nam Visuddha Nirmala Prema Kabu Nahe Kam. Uh, the love of gopis is called Rudha Bhav. It is pure and spotless. It is not at any time lust. Uh, Premayava Gopa Ramanam Kama Ihi, Kama Iti Agamat Pratham. So the pure love of gopis has become celebrated by the name lust. The dear devotees of the Lord, headed by Sri Uddhava, desire to taste that love. So uh, here we see that Kama Prem and Kama and Prem, Donhara Kara, Vibhinna Lakshana, both have different qualities. Lauha Ara Hema Aiche Swarupe Vilakshana. Lust and love have different characteristics, just as Loha. Loha is what? Um, Iron. Ara, Hema, and gold have they have different natures. Similarly, love and lust are of different natures. Atmendriya Priti Vansha Tare Bali Kam. Krishnendriya Priti Icha Dhare Premanam. So this is at least when we understand that, okay, oh, I have been thinking this as lust, love, whatever our misunderstanding. Uh, once we have clarity on that, then we can appreciate the past tense of the Lord, especially when we are talking about the dealings, the intimate dealings, intimate, transcendental, pure relationship of Radha and Krishna. Hmm. Uh, so, in that way, we see that the relationship between Radha and Krishna is purely based on love. Hmm. कामेर तात्पर्य निज संभोग केवल कृष्ण सुख तात्पर्य मात्र प्रेमता प्रबल. The object of lust is only the enjoyment of one's own senses, but love caters to the enjoyment of Lord Krishna, and that it is very powerful. So in that way, we see that the loving relationship of the Lord is not of this world. Mm. But because uh, we think that this is love, this is mainly because we are seeing, okay, this is in this world, this is prem. Yeah. So then I start thinking, oh, in other world also prem there is prem, but that is like that. So we are seeing uh, From Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, Urdhva Moolam Ada Shakham Ashpatta Rahur Avyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Cha Vedavit. So, just this material world is a reflection, perverted reflection of the spiritual world. How to understand? When we see a banyan tree which is on the mm, bank of a lake, then we see that the whole tree is upside down. Mm. What is real? Is the real tree on the bank? What is perverted reflection? Mm, which appears to be but not real, is the reflection that is on the water. So when we understand all these things, then we understand Krishna's loving affair with all living entities. He is very, very pure. Mm. And also with Shrimati Radharani, also it is pure. And then we understand that Vraja Gopikas are not different from Krishna. Mm. So I don't know. There is mm, yeah, maybe we come to that shortly. Who is Radha? Mm. So we understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So from him everything manifested. So and Vraja Gopikas and Radharani are not ordinary ladies. They are eternal consorts of Lord Krishna in the spiritual world. So we understand that they have a prominent mm, position. Uh, what is that? They are eternal consorts of Lord Krishna. When he comes to this material world, he descends along with his abode and associates. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jiva Dayakari Swa Parshada Sviya Dhama Saha Avatari. So the Lord is so merciful that he is not coming only himself, he is also coming with his dham and abode and associates. All associates of Krishna are not ordinary living entities who are the marginal potencies of the Lord. Rather, all of them are Swarup Shaktis. Uh, Swarup Shaktis or the internal potency of the Lord. The internal potency means that the potency of Krishna that is within himself. It is within him is Swarup Shakti and is not different from him. Radharani is the personification of Hladini Shakti or the pleasure giving potency of the Lord. So, potent person will have potency. Yeah? And that potent person will have various manifestations of potencies. One is, for example, when we are now talking, we have a talking potency. We have hearing, we have hearing potency. We have uh, love giving potency. We want to give love to others. We want to take love or reciprocate. So these are different kinds of potencies. And Srimati Radharani is the love potency. So when we are saying love of Godhead, what is that love of Godhead? It is none other than Srimati Radharani. This pleasure giving potency is there within Krishna's body in an unmanifested form. But when Krishna desires to enjoy, Radha manifests from Lord's transcendental body and takes a form visible outside. So, as we said, the Lord is sum and source of everything, sum and bonum of everything. So, even this potency is also there. Just uh, I am, I can talk. Yeah, I have this, but it is in unmanifested form. But when I'm speaking, it is manifesting. So, I'm sorry for giving this very mundane, logical example, but here the essence is that everything is within Lord, and when He want to enjoy, when He want to exchange His loving, uh, mm, what do we call expression or emotion? Yeah, when He want, then this is manifesting in the form of Radharani. The Hladini potency is an energy of Krishna that is there within the body of Krishna. When that Hladini potency takes form, it transforms into Radharani. Hladinera Sara Prema, Prema Sara Bhava, Bhavera Parama Kashta Nama Mahabhav. So we understand that there are these various stages, and the topmost is what we say is Prem. After the Bhav is coming Prem. And we say that actually, even in this Prem, after Prem, there is also even further. There is Mahabhav stage. The essence of Hladini potency. What is the essence of this power? Is love of Godhead. And the essence of love of God is bhava, emotion. And the ultimate development of emotion, uh, this bhav is emotion, which is that I cannot live without Krishna. Hmm. That emotional feeling, which is a bhav. And when it comes to perfection, that is called Mahabhav stage. And Radharani is that Mahabhava Swarupa Sri Radha Thakurani Sarvagunakani Krishna Kanta Shiromani. Sri Radha Thakurani is the embodiment of Mahabhav. She is the repository of all good qualities and a crest jewel among all the lovely concerts of Lord Krishna. So, and in the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning the unadulterated action of Ladni Shakti is displayed in the dealing of damsels of Braj and Shrimati Radharani. राधा कृष्ण प्रणय विकृतिर लादिनी शक्तिर अस्मात् एकात्मनाव अपि भुवि पुरा देह भेदम गतौ तौ. So it says that the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. राधा कृष्ण एक आत्मा दुई देहधारी अन्योन्य विलासे रस आस्वादन करी. Radha and Krishna are one and the same, but they have assumed two bodies. Thus they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. So this is, we see, uh, yeah, when we say, okay, Lord Rama has come, why? To establish dharma, to punish miscreants. Yeah, here Radharani's existence, how is it coming? It's because uh, he is the pleasure giving potency. uh, so that pleasure giving potency, when it manifests, and then this pleasure giving potency, what is she doing? Always engaging in giving pleasure to the Supreme Lord. And this is the topmost lesson that mankind uh, should have, is what? To give mm, love to the Lord. At the moment, we are too much busy in giving so-called love to everyone, but it is said in scriptures, one can give love only to the Supreme Lord. Whatever other thing is the mundane business, it's not love. So in fact, Radha Rani is the internal potency of Krishna, and she uh, eternally intensifies the pleasure of Sri Krishna. Impersonalists cannot understand this without the help of a Maha Bhagavat devotee. The very name Radha suggests that Srimati Radharani is eternally topmost mistress of comforts of Sri Krishna. As such, she is the medium transmitting the living entity's service to Sri Krishna. Radhika Hayena Krishnera Pranaya Vikara Swarupa Shakti Hladini Nama Yan Hara. Srimad Radhika is the transformation of Krishna's love. She is his eternal energy called Hladini. And now this is very important for us. It's very important. Why? Because we want to develop bhakti. If we are aspiring for bhakti, what does it mean? Love, giving, um, um, yeah, bhakti is all about, yeah, giving love. And uh, that Hladini Karaya Krishna Ananda Aswadana Hladinera Dwara Kare Bhakti Raposhana. That Hladini energy gives Krishna pleasure and nourishes his devotees. So if we want to understand on this auspicious day the appearance of Srimati Radharani, actually Radha appeared in spiritual world mm, time immemorial before. How? Just because Lord wanted to have to enjoy. It is said in Goloka Vrindavan there is a place called uh, Rasamandal. Mm. In Rasamandal, on one side there is a mountain called Shetashringa. This mountain appeared in Bhulok as Govardhan. In Vrindavan, there are nice gardens of Malati and Mallika flowers. The Lord of the universe, by whose mere desire everything happens, was sitting on Ratna Simhasan. And when he desired, I want to enjoy, hmm, he had a desire to enjoy. And as soon as this desire came, when we want to enjoy, when someone is should be there to offer the enjoyment. So immediately from his left side, the Lord appeared Radharani, and from right appeared Krishna. Uh, so interesting. From Krishna, enjoyer comes, is manifesting externally, and externally Radharani is appearing, who is giving service to the Lord. So what she did as soon as she came, she she appeared very beautiful. She was decorated with valuable jewels and wore cloth purified by fire. She was dazzling like millions of moons, her body the color of molten gold. She was illuminating everything with her radiance. When she smiled, her teeth were very attractive. Her face depicted the beauty of lotus flower in autumn. She was wearing a flower garland of malati and a diamond necklace. Her bodily effulgence was brilliant like the sun in summer season. She was sitting next to Krishna on the Ratna Simhasan. Thus, the Lord appeared in two forms. From left side of his body appeared Srimati Radharani, right side of his body appeared Sri Krishna. When Lord Krishna saw Radhika, he wanted to enjoy with her. Knowing this, her form became very even more beautiful. Immediately she ran to pick some flowers, made a garland, and offered at the lotus feet of Sri Hari. Because she appeared in the Rasamandal and immediately ran to serve the Lord by picking flowers, huh, she is known as Radha. Why? Ra represents the Rasamandal from where she, yeah, after her manifestation, she was on the Rasamandal. Uh, and from Rasamandal, uh, she ran. Dha means dhavamana. Dhava means to run. Uh, even when we read about, what is this? Damodarashtakam, Dhavamana. So we see that when Krishna saw Yashoda holding the stick, Krishna ran away. So she ran away, not ran away, but she ran away to get the flower and immediately offer it to the lotus feet of Hari. Hmm. Because she appeared in Rasamandal and was running to the Lord when she saw him very enthusiastic to enjoy, her name is Radha. Regarding the appearance of the two forms from one original form, it is stated in Narada Pancharatra. Dvibhuja so api goloke babrama rasamandale gopaveshas taruno jalada shama sundara. Taruna means lady. And there is further. Eka isha prathamato vitha rupa babhuvasa eka stri Vishnu mayaya puman eka swayam vibhu. सा च स्वेच्छामयश्यामा सगुणो निर्गुणः स्वयं तां दृष्ट्वा सुन्दरीं लोलं रतिं कर्तुं समुद्यते. So this is explaining that the two-handed form of Parabrahma in the form of a young cowherd boy whose bodily color was like new clouds was wandering in Rasamandal. Only one form of Ishvara divided into two forms. One appeared as a female form known as Vishnu Maya or the internal potency of Krishna. The other part remained as himself, Vibhu Purusha or the male form. He is independent and acting according to his own will. Everything happens as soon as he desires. He has a blue bodily effulgence. He is Sagun, having transcendental qualities, and Nirgun, without material qualities. So in that way, we understand that there is no difference between Radha and Krishna. Krishna serves Radha and Radha serves Krishna. Krishna is the energetic and Radha is energy. Radha Purna Shakti, Krishna Purna Shaktiman, Do Vastu Vedanai Shastra Paramana. So that is the, what do we call it? Evidence from Shastras. Anyway, so in that way, we understand just to get a glimpse of what position is Srimati Radharani. Uh, and we understand then what is the significance of this Rasa Lila. So we see that, um, Kamesha, Krodesha, Rajoguna, Samudbhava, because of the mode of passion, this lust is also manifested. But the Lord's love is not manifesting out of this. Uh, Shruti says, Raso Vaisaha. Uh, he is made of melo or rasa. The Lord Himself is manifested of what? Of the rasa. And He relishes rasa and He creates living entities to relish rasas through loving relationships. And there are two, when we're talking about, there are two kinds of conjugal loving relationships. One is svakiya and parakiya. In Goloka Vrindavan, we are talking about not here, we are talking about Goloka Vrindavan. Radharani and the gopis are eternally serving Krishna as his eternal consorts. So Radharani is in Golokadam serving as the Lord in what? In Swakiya. There, Krishna knows the gopis are his consorts, and the gopis also know that they are consorts of Krishna. In this awareness, they serve Krishna and enjoy with him by giving him pleasure. Okay, so which means here this in Golok Vrindavan, not in Bhaumya Vrindavan, Krishna and Radha they are enjoying Swakiyaras. But when there is an obstacle and hindrance in your loving relationship with a loving loved one, and you have to overcome all these hindrances, all that time love becomes more powerful and intense. That gives more pleasure. So, what is happening here in this case is um, when we are talking about, okay, yeah, if one is lawfully, rightfully the husband or lawful, rightful wife, then the loving relationship, yeah, uh, is which is swakiya, yeah, is serving each other. Yeah, there is no hindrances, no obstacles, uh, no troubles. Everything is yeah rightfully performed and yeah and also easily offered. But here we are talking about but when there are obstacles and hindrances, and in spite of that, if one is offering his love, then that is considered topmost. But of course, the question may come, okay, but does this mean uh, that in today's world, if one is having, what do you call, loving relationship outside marriage, uh, is it considered the topmost? No, this is considered the most degraded. Because when we are talking about, we are in what? We are um, in Varnashram, whether we accept, at least Varnashram is to behave like civilized person. Uh, in that there is a loving relationship within marriage approved. Uh, Otherwise, we might become even more animalistic, and we may think that okay, whoever I desire, because our interests of love is driven by what mode of passion. With that, how can we understand the loving relationship of the Lord? We cannot understand, and that's why we think, hey, if that is great, why can't I do it? It is something like um, um, a devotee of Lord Shiva is thinking, okay, Lord Shiva has drank bhang. I can also drink bhang. Uh, so that will not help. We cannot say that we cannot, when we cannot appreciate the purity, greatness we may imitate will become only a disturbance to the society. So to understand this, we should understand that okay, there is a yoga maya of the Lord. With the potency of the yoga maya of the Lord, what is Lord doing? He is enacting this parakiya ras by manifesting everyone coming to Bhaumya Vrindavan. So in the Goloka Vrindavan, there is no this parakiya ras. But to enjoy this parakiya ras, which means to create obstacles and to to relish the exchange of uh, love of Godhead between Lord and Vajagopikas. What Lord does is uh, through the Yoga Maya, he himself forgets that he and Radha are uh, consorts, or Radharani is his consort. Rather, he arranges with Yoga Maya, he arranges that All the gopis are married to some others. The so-called they so-called have others as their husbands. Hmm? Yogamaya makes them forget and arrange false marriages with other gopas. Thus, Radharani and gopis think that they are married to someone other than Krishna. But their love for Krishna is so great that they will overcome all obstacles and run to Krishna. They will give up all kinds of dharma like Loka dharma, Veda dharma, Deha dharma, huh, etc. This kind of love is regarded as the highest love in all loving relationships. We may think, oh, it is so nice. This is considered topmost. Why don't I do it? Huh? But our interest is to do what? Again, huh? Not to satisfy our senses. Sorry, not to satisfy Krishna's senses, but our own senses. The sentiment of gopis regarding their loving relationship with Krishna as their paramour take place due to the influence of Yogamaya. But our interests are driven by what? Mahamaya. Because of the Mahamaya, which is the material manifestation, the energy uh, through which he wants to correct us, correct our interests, correct our propensity, we are under the influence of Mahamaya. Whereas the Lord arranges his Yogamaya potency to forget himself that he can relish the pastimes. So, in this way, Mo Vishaya Gopi Ganera Upapati Bhave Yogamaya Karibeka Apana Prabhave. The influence of Yogamaya will inspire the gopis with the sentiment that I am their paramour. So, to relish the parakiya, the Lord Himself is coming. Usually we say, okay, what are the reasons why the Lord appears? One simple answer is, does He really need reasons? Yeah? Out of His free will, He can come. And there are also other reasons to punish the miscreants. Then there is also other reason to what? To mm, bestow blessings on the devotees. And then the other one here we see that to enjoy, to enjoy, he is arranging himself in the Bhumi of Vrindavan uh, so that the gopis are married, so called married to other gopas, and then this parakiya ras is the topmost, can be released. In Goloka Vrindavan, there is an exchange of love known as parakiya ras. It is something like the attraction of a married woman for a man other than her husband. In the material world, this sort of relationship is more abominable because it is a perverted reflection of parakiras in the spiritual world, where it is highest kind of loving affair. Such feelings between the devotee and the Lord are presented by the influence of Yoga Maya. The Bhagavad Gita states that the devotees of highest grade are under the care of Daiva Maya or Yoga Maya. Mahatma Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Daivim Prakritim Ashrita. So those under the spell of middle energy cannot at all appreciate the activities of Yoga Maya. For a conditioned soul can hardly understand the pure reciprocation between the Lord and his devotee. But by executing devotional service under the regulative principle, this is very important. Only when we are performing devotional service, we don't want to become sahajiyas where we say, oh, now I have uh, some emotions. I'm not able to talk. My words are, what do we call this? I'm dumbfolded or stammering. I can't speak. Uh, all these symptoms are so great. Now have got the taste of real pure bhakti or love of God. So I can also become like gopis, wear the dress like gopis, talk like gopis, do like gopis. So, no, not like that. To be actually purified ourselves in the process of Vaidhi sadhana bhakti by following regulations, rules and regulations. But by executing devotional service under the regulative principles, one can become very highly elevated and then begin to appreciate the dealings of pure love under the management of Yogamaya. In the spiritual loving sentiment induced by Yogamaya, both Lord Krishna and the damsels of Raj forget themselves in spiritual rapture. So, in that way, we understand here that the only means to understand all these leelas is to what? Hmm? By practicing devotional service. To practice spiritual service, devotional service, what can we pray? Who can give us strength? Lajani Shakti. She is the pleasure giving potency of the Lord and all merciful mother. So by approaching her, she can bless us that mood of offering ourselves completely to the Lord. That's so. I mean, there is a lot still to, yeah, in the subject matter. But yeah, I myself am not so capable to discuss further on this matter, and not so capable definitely to glorify the greatness of Srimati Radharani. But this should help us to understand the secret of how to approach what is the way out to really come uh, to advance in this, to learn more and to not commit offenses uh, here. And I will go through few, yeah, short stories that are mentioned in this wonderful book by Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, Shrimati Radharani Part 2. Yeah, these are nice. But if one has this book, take the opportunity to read the first other sections also, which are telling from Lalita what is it? Vidigdha Madhav, and also, what was that? Yes, let me see. Krishna's marriage in Vrindavan is also written by, yeah, great acharyas. Yeah, Prema Samputa. This is from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And there is also Nava Vrindavan pastime, which is telling how the gopis, when Krishna left to Dwaraka, how the gopis also escaped to mm, to Dwaraka. Of course, it's um, very exalted topic, because we are talking that, yeah, on one side we know that Krishna doesn't leave. We know that Krishna is always present in Vrindavan, but Krishna manifests in three forms. One is that he is always living in Vrindavan, yeah, and the other one is he lives in Mathura, and then he also lives in Dwaraka. So there are three different manifestations of Krishna, who are eternally present in three places, mm, for enacting the pastimes. Um, so there is Prema Samputa by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Mm. It gives a more in-depth presentation of his pastimes. Um, about, I mean, there is wonderful pastimes. These are not small ones. These are very, very uh, detailed, elaborate, which Maharaj still made it little short for us to, yeah, build appetite to read them. And then there is also Nava Vrindavan pastime. So, which is telling Lord Krishna meets Satyabhama in Nava Vrindavan. And this one, what is the start of it? Yeah, is son Vidigdha Madhav or Lalita Madhav? Yeah, yeah. So this is from, there is also Nava Vrindavan pastime. That is from, yeah, I just read only one paragraph. Krishna has said, Vrindavan uh, Parikyaja Padam Ekam Na Gachyati. I never take even one step out of Vrindavan. In the spiritual world, there are three distinct, fully spiritual locales: Dwaraka, Mathura, and Vrindavan. In each place, a different form of Krishna enjoys different pastimes, each in a different bhav. Aishwarya bhav in Dwaraka, Aishwarya and Madhurya bhav in Mathura, and Madhurya bhav in Vrindavan. When Krishna exhibits his Bhaumya Leela, at that time he appears in Bhauma Vrindavan, also known as Gokul. From there, he goes to Mathura, and finally he goes to Dwaraka. When he leaves Vrindavan, the people there can no longer see him anymore, at least not outwardly. Though Krishna stays forever in Vrindavan and never leaves, in the eyes of people in general, he is no longer there. For this reason, all the Vrajavasis feel a sense of separation. And this Nava Vrindavan pastime is narrated by Srila Rupa Goswami in a play Lalita Madhava. Yeah, so it's very nice, very, very nice. Gives us how all the gopis, uh, yeah, arrange themselves to go to Dwaraka. And all, when we're talking about Satyabhama, yeah, so Satyabhama, Rukmini, uh, so Radharani disappears, There's wonderful, which says like what Gopi took which queen in Dwaraka. So these queens in Dwaraka are not different from the gopis. Yeah. When the Lord is there, they are serving in this form, and at the same time in Vrindavan, they are all in this longing. Oh Krishna, where are you? Where are you? So it is not a very straightforward subject matter where we say, hey, if Krishna left there and if gopis also went there, how could they become these queens? Uh, it needs further understanding and absorption. Um, and then there is this other story which is about Krishna Chakravarti Thakur is mentioning about Prema Samputa. Prema Samputa is also explaining about how there is very nice description about how once upon a time when Krishna he appeared in front of the gopis as a beautiful Devangana, a beautiful heavenly damsel, and then everyone were mesmerized. And their wonderful question, and this Devangan, when she appears in front of Radharani, Radharani says, "Oh, you are so beautiful," um, and and in that way she is asking, "Who are you?" And and she asks so many wonderful questions, and she starts seeing what is this happening that she's crying, and now I'll just read one paragraph from this, which gives us the questions. Oh, beautiful one, who are you? The beauty of your body is pulling on my heart, which is very strongly attracted to your beautiful form. Are you one of the heavenly denizens? The sight of you makes me feel as if you have subsumed the beauty of everything in this universe and are now reflecting the beauty as you stand here in front of me. This is what Radharani is asking. She is also saying, oh, Sundari, oh, beautiful girl, I think you must have some kind of pain in your heart. Hmm? I look, it look like you are suffering. Otherwise, you would have behaved. You would not have behaved like this. Because now, what is happening when Radharani is asking? Na, she is telling, please tell me about you. Hmm? Uh, please consider us as your friend. So don't fear. Tell us once again. Even after hearing Radha's entrances, Krishna in this uh, enigmatic female form still did not say a thing. Rather, he turned his face to the ground and stood in silence. So she starts asking wonderful questions. Uh, believe me fully and make no mistake. I will try my best to remove your distress. Uh, allow me to venture a guess. Have you been rejected by your husband? Are you feeling sad because your husband has made some error? Have you committed some severe offense at his feet? Are you perhaps afraid of jeopardizing your good relationship with your husband because of some mistake? Or is it maybe that although you have not made any mistake, notorious people have nonetheless complained against you without reason, trying to ruin the good relationship between you and your husband? Is that why you are feeling so much pain? Or maybe your husband is wicked and unfortunate, and because of this you have come to hate him? Or have you become attracted to any another man more attractive than your husband? Or have you been mercilessly chastised by your in-laws as I have been chastised by my mother-in-law? Is that why you are feeling sad? So many questions, isn't it? And although Radharani has posed so many questions and so gently, still that lady did not say a thing. But she would not give up. Radha continued, Oh Sundari, do you have co-wives? Has your husband developed greater attachment for one of your co-wives than for yourself? Is he for that reason chastising you unfairly and using harsh words to harass you? Have you been pained to hear such coarse language? But I don't think any of these things are true in your case. I think that there could not possibly anyone more fortunate than you in this entire universe. No husband could give up a wife like you, who is clearly endowed with all good qualities, just to marry some other lady. I do not think you could have co-wives. O Chandramukhi, O moon-faced girl, you have heard from Devi Bhagavati that the Lord has one incarnation called Mohini. In that enchanting feminine form, the Lord once bewildered even the great Vaishnava known as Mahadev. Are you that Mohini? Please tell me. You have come here all of a sudden in this most beautiful form. To bewilder whom? It is indeed true that you once bewildered Mahadev, but you yourself were not bewildered. But now, if you look up the unparalleled form of Sri Krishna, you too will be bewildered by the sight of his beauty. This means that your beauty has no comparison. So anyway, this is this is just a few questions. Yeah, they are wonderful questions. Further it goes on. She's saying, why, when Radharani saw Devangana cover herself in this way, she thought that mysterious lady might be suffering from some disease. Oh, Sakhi, are you ill? Are you feeling pain in your body? Is there pain in your chest, your back, or your head? And she says, I have some ways how to get relief. And Radharani continued, you have identified yourself as heavenly damsel. This must be true. Even before you said so, we felt you must be denizen of heavenly planets, because there are no ladies as beautiful as you. Your beauty is incomparable. At first, I was not able to really understand who you are. I have asked you so many unreasonable questions. In fact, I have said all those things to you in all innocence, just to have some fun. Please do not take offense, because you have shown me so much affection. I have also become quite affectionate towards you. And anyway, now Krishna in this disguised form, he's saying, "Oh Sri Radha, you are my friend. Why are you feeling so uncomfortable with me? I have become your friend as well. Even if I were from the heavenly planet, still I am fully under your control. I am fully dependent upon you. Please believe me. Be, by seeing your love, your form and qualities, I have now developed the desire to be your love and your own maid servant. But I am overcome by great sadness. I will tell you everything from the core of my heart. Please listen carefully and then remove all doubts from my mind. Uh, until now, you have showered so much nectar upon me through your sweet words, but the pain in my heart has still not been removed. O Sakhi, in Vrindavan, there is someone who plays the flute. The sound of the flute travels all the way up to heaven. When that sublime vibration enters the ears of ladies of heaven, they become so bewildered by sound that they completely forget their husbands. In fact, the ladies of heaven are so affected by the flute that they are pained whenever thoughts of their husband happen to enter their minds. Of course, the player of that flute is Sri Krishna, and the heavenly ladies become so enchanted by the sound that their minds are filled with thoughts of Jagatpati Sri Krishna. The potency of those thoughts is so beautiful that all their desires for material enjoyment quickly disappear from their minds. While hearing, one feels pleasure, like she is drinking sweet nectar, but once the sound stops, he feels an unbearable pain. Anyway, this is further explaining more and more. Another name for heaven is Swargalok. He- Another name for heaven, Swargalok, is Tridashalaya. This indicates that in heaven, people go through only three stages of life: Balyak, Kaishor, and Yavan. In heaven, there is no old age, so there are no old ladies in heaven. Whenever Krishna plays his flute, all the heavenly damsels are afflicted with same condition. For this reason, there is no question of their criticizing or blaspheming one another. Who will chastise whom? All suffer from same condition. The sound of Sri Krishna's flute has afflicted all the heavenly ladies equally. It has destroyed their chastity. One day, filled with wonder, I thought, alas, where is this sound coming from? Who is making this sound? Thinking in this way, I set off in the direction from which the sound seemed to be coming. Finally, after a long journey, I reached this earth planet. I arrived here in Vrindavan for a few days. I stayed near Vamshi but very happily. For the last few days, I have been witnessing your pastimes with Sri Krishna with my own eyes. I too would like to become one of the consorts of Sri Krishna. Having heard this explanation from Sri Krishna, whom she still believed to be a heavenly dancer, Radharani spoke these sweet words in a joking mood. O Dhanya, O blessed one, surely you are the most clever girl in all the heaven. The name Sumana is no longer suitable for ladies of heaven. Their minds are no longer fixed due to their newfound anxiety over attaining Sri Krishna. Indeed, they are now always suffering from mental anguish, but you have come here to reduce your own anxiety. That's why you are the best and the most fortunate among all the ladies of heaven. In response, Devangana smiled and said, "O Radha, do not consider other ladies to be like yourself. Do not think my attachment to Param Purush in any way compares to your attachment to Krishna. Will that Krishna be able to see me here?" Anyway, it's so nice. Continue reading. I'm not able to stop this, but I'll just read a small couple of small stories, which are one pages. I think we only know about the appearance of Kusum Sarovar. I'll skip that. I'll read about the Gopi field. Vibhav, close the door. Gopis steal Krishna's blankets. Huh? One day, Krishna went alone to the forest to graze the cows. He strongly desired to meet with Radharani. So he played on his flute to attract her. Radharani, along with her Sakhis, thus came to the forest to be with Krishna. However, before the gopis arrived, Krishna's cows wandered far away. Krishna went to search for his missing herd. When the gopis reached the forest, they realized that Krishna had gone looking for his cows, but had left behind his blanket. Wanting to have some fun, they quickly hid it. When Krishna returned, he looked for his blanket but couldn't find it anywhere. When Krishna questioned the gopis, some said, "Oh, sorry, a cow has eaten your blanket." Others replied, "If you dance, then we will find your blanket for you." Krishna went back to his house and complained to his mother Yashoda. Uh, a great poet Surdas described this in a song. Maya Meri Kamara Chore Lai. Mai Ban Jata Charavana Gaya Suni Dekhi Lai. एक कहे कान्हा तेरी कामरा जुमाना जमुना जात भाई एक कहे कान्हा तेरी कामर सुरभि गाय गाय. It says, "My dear mother, I went to the forest to graze the cows, but they had wandered far away. So I put down my blanket and went to search for them. While I was looking for my cows, some Sakhis stealthily stole my blanket. When I returned from searching for my cows, I could not find my blanket anywhere. Then I asked the Sakhis, 'Where is my blanket? If you have taken it, then return it to me. That is my blanket.' One Sakhi said, 'Kanya, I saw a cow eating your blanket.' My dear mother, please tell me, how could a kind-hearted cow eat my blanket?" Another Sakhi said, "Kanya, if you dance in front of me, then I will give you a new blanket." Maya, these Sakhis are teasing me in so many ways. While saying this, Kanaya's eye filled with tears. Mother Yashoda lifted up her son and started feeding him her breast milk. And then there is raining flutes. Sri Krishna used to meet with Radharani from time to time. Jatila and Kutila, the mother-in-law and sister-in-law of Radharani, respectively, were very much against these meetings. Kutila always watched Radharani closely and tried her best to catch Krishna whenever he was with Radharani. One time when Sri Krishna was sitting with, sorry, One time when Sri Krishna was with Radharani in her bedroom, Kutila heard Krishna's voice coming from inside the room. She quickly ran towards Radharani's bedroom to try and catch them together, but Krishna understood that Kutila was coming, so he immediately escaped through the bedroom window. Kutila felt very disappointed knowing that Krishna had escaped and that she was not able to catch him and prove to others that he had visited Radharani. When Kutila entered Radharani's bedroom, she found Krishna's flute left on Radharani's bed, which he had accidentally left behind when he had suddenly left the house. When Kutila found the flute, she was elated because now she could prove to others that Krishna was with Radharani. Kutila was very angry with Radharani and Radharani started to cry in fear. Holding the flute with one hand, Kutila caught hold of Radharani with her other hand. She called all the villagers to show them Krishna's flute that she had found on Radharani's bed. Thus, she tried to prove to everyone that Radharani meets secretly with Krishna. Radharani was feeling very embarrassed and was crying profusely because of it. At this time, it just so happened that Purnamasi arrived there and inquired what all the commotion was about. Kutila described the whole incident of Krishna's meeting Radharani and how he had left his flute in Radharani's bedroom. Hearing this, Purnamasi started to laugh and laugh. Kutila became very angry to see Purnamasi laughing so much. He asked, "Why are you laughing? This is such a serious matter. Instead of taking it seriously, you are laughing." Purnamasi said, "Kutila, don't you know that last night it was raining flutes all over Vrindavan? There must have been flutes raining down over your house too. You found a flute in Radharani's bedroom, not because Krishna left his flute there, but because there are flutes all over Vrindavan, because it was raining flutes last night." Then everyone went to check Kutila's house, and sure enough, they found three flutes there. Then everyone went to check Jatila's house and found six flutes on Jatila's bed. Thus, no one believed that Krishna had come to Radharani's bedroom. Radharani was free from embarrassment, and Kutila was made to feel a fool. Yeah, this is some fun pastime. Another one is one day Radharani and Krishna planned to have a swing pastime in the forest. With this idea in mind, they both arrived under a banyan tree. They were alone as Radha's Sakis had not arrived. Before the arrival of other Sakis and just to pass time, Sri Krishna decided to have some fun with Radharani. Sri Krishna hung a swing from the branch of banyan tree and then requested Radharani to climb onto the swing. Krishna purposefully hung the swing on the tree very high so that Radharani was not able to climb on it. Krishna came forward and picked up Radharani to help her climb upon the swing. On the pretext of helping her, Krishna put his hands around Radharani and embraced her. Right at this time, the Sakis arrived and started to laugh and joke when they saw what Krishna had done. In this way, all the Sakis, along with Radha and Krishna, enjoyed the fun. I think we know about this Gopeshwar Mahadev pastime. Right? Yeah, let me come to a very important one. I think we also know this Krishna applying kajal to Srimati Radharani. Hmm. There is this another nice two pastimes. I'll read and we can continue. But yeah, I'll stop after that. Once there was a time when Radharani had developed man towards Krishna. For this reason, she did not meet with him for quite some time. Due to separation from Radharani, Krishna was feeling very restless and wanted very much to meet with her. He consulted with Vishaka to figure out a solution to his problem. Vishaka advised Krishna to dress like a Brahman boy and in disguise go to Radharani's house to beg alms. Accordingly, Krishna dressed himself like a Brahmana boy with a sacred thread across his shoulder and wooden shoes on his feet, carrying a begging bowl, a danda in his hand, and a book under his arm. He arrived at the door of Jatila's house in Javata. It was early morning when Krishna started to beg alms at Jatila's door, and neither Jatila nor Kutila had taken their bath. They were busy making cow dung patties and were not clean enough to properly offer alms. Jatila asked Radharani and requested her to offer alms to the young Brahman boy, but Radharani refused to go before any male person other than her husband Abhimanyu. Since receiving the alms was delayed, Krishna, in the disguise of young Brahmana beggar, said to Jatila, "Dear mother, it is getting late for me. I don't stay at one place more than the time it takes to milk a cow. I have been waiting here for so long now. I have to leave whether I get or not." Jatila became very worried hearing that the young Brahman would leave their house without receiving any alms. She knew this would bring inauspiciousness to their family and would create a disturbance in the house. Someone in their family could die or one of the cows might die. Hmm? With great haste, Jatila entered the house and insisted Radharani go out and offer alms to Brahmana boy. Jatila repeatedly requested Radharani until she finally agreed. Then Jatila left to continue making cow dung patties. Radharani prepared a plate of alms with different ingredients such as grains and vegetables and went to the door, along with her Sakhis, to offer the alms to the Brahman boy. Krishna, in the disguise of the Brahmanas, beggar said, I do not require alms of this sort. I have come here to beg from you a different kind of alms. I want your man towards me. Radharani then understood that this boy was Krishna in the disguise of a Brahman boy who came to beg. She uncovered her veil to show her smiling face and poured on Krishna's head everything she had brought on the plate to give him as alms. Krishna was very happy to accept these alms. As he left Jatla's house, he meditated on the special alms he received from his beloved Radharani. I don't know, is it boring or shall I continue with one or two stories more?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Yeah, there are also other stories. I mean, yeah, every story is so nice. Just trying to pick one last. Yeah, I'll read one very nice to close this. One day, Sri Krishna informed Radharani in advance to meet with him at Saket. Huh? On his way to meet Radharani, he saw Padma, a Sakhi of Chandravali. Padma Sakhi came before Krishna in great ecstasy and blocked his path. Padma said, Krishna, you are very cruel. We all have become tired from searching for you all over the place. Still, we could not find you anywhere. What shall I tell you about our dear Sakhi Chandravali? By her sadness, even stones melt. Oh, Vidigdha Nagara, please, you should meet with Chandravali for at least once and save her life. If you say that you do not have time now, then I will not let you proceed one step from here. Most clever Sri Govind thought, if I say I have no time, then Padma will not let me go easily. Externally, he smiled and said, Oh Padme, I am always happy with beautiful form of Devi Chandravali. In these three worlds, there is no one who is so dear to me like Chandravali. My heart cries out as soon as I hear her name, Chandravali. I think when will I see that Chandravali? Padme, I should have gone with you now, but I have a royal invitation from uh, Rishabhanupura. Thus, I am in great trouble. Not only that, but since this morning his servant has been coming to my house again and again to call me. That's why now you must let me go to attend the royal invitation with Subala. Later on, I will come and meet with you, dear Saki Chandravali, your dear Saki Chandravali. Please pacify Chandravali by informing her of my eagerness to meet with her. Speaking very politely, Krishna pleased Padma and was about to leave, but at the time Chandravali arrived along with all her Sakis. When Krishna saw Chandravali, he took her inside the Kunj with great pleasure along with her Sakis. There he engaged with Chandravali in many pastimes. Chandravali, holding Krishna's two hands with hers, said, Oh, Vrajaraja Nandan, I have been wandering all over the forest, keeping aside all my duties just to have your darshan. Sometimes I get to see you, and sometimes I do not see you. When I have chance to see you, on that day, four prahara passes quickly like one moment. I am simply living because of your love. Clever Krishna greeted Chandravali sweetly, saying, Pranapriye, I have no language to speak to you. You just ask Padma. She will tell you about my eagerness for you. I wander all over the forest searching only for you. In the forest, I sometimes in the forest, if someone just utters Chandra, immediately I lose all my patience. When I see the moon in the sky, I am simply reminded of you. All my senses desire to associate with your body. Priye, I have now revealed my mind to you. When Sri Krishna and Chandravali were talking with each other like this, There was Radharani's parrot, Sarika, sitting on the branch of a tree and hearing everything. Sarika immediately went to the assembly of Radharani's Sakhis and reported the conversation between Krishna and Chandravali. Lalita became very angry to hear that Sri Krishna had met with Chandravali. He said to the other Sakhis, "You all go to the house of Govardhan Malla, who is Chandravali's husband, and inform him of everything. He should keep his wife confined inside." Then the Sakhis went to inform Chandravali's mother-in-law, Karala. She became very angry to hear this and went to the kunj of Chandravali, making a roaring sound. Padma saw the old lady from a far distance and became very frightened. When she informed Chandravali about the arrival of her mother-in-law, Karala, Chandravali immediately fainted in fear. Krishna very affectionately said, "There is no fear. I am here to protect you." Then immediately Krishna accepted the form of a Katyayani. All the Sakhis were very happy to see Krishna in that form. In the meantime, Karala arrived and angrily said, "Now I have understood your mentality. You all are taking my daughter-in-law and wandering in the forest every day just to get the association of other persons. Today I will arrange a proper punishment to all of you for this." Upon hearing these words from the old lady, Padma said, "Why are you saying these cruel sentences? We have brought your daughter-in-law here to worship Devi Katyayani. Just see how she is worshipping the Devi, praying for the well-being of your son." Devi was here in her real form, but by seeing you, she has accepted this deity form. Karal became very pleased to see this personally and blessed all the Sakhis. Chandravali offered her obeisances to her mother-in-law. Karala blessed Chandravali and very affectionately took her back to the house. After they left, Subala said, "O chief of all magicians, today your knowledge about magic has become successful." Krishna laughed and then proceeded along with Subala towards Radharani's kunj. From afar, Radharani could see Krishna coming toward her kunj. She turned her face so as not to see Krishna. Her face was filled with sadness. Lalita told Krishna, "You are a cheater. You are always engaged in enjoying with another's wife in a different kunj. Do not proceed here one step more. If you value your well being, then go back to her with whom you were busy enjoying till now. Give up your hope for this place." Hearing from Lalita like this, Krishna spoke in a choked voice. "Lalite, why are you getting angry with me without any fault? I cannot survive without Radharani for even a moment, even one moment. She is the controller of my life. Radharani's name, her form, and qualities are my life and soul. You are my Anuradha. Please save me from this danger." After appealing to Lalita like this, Krishna went towards Radharani with folded hands and sat at her lotus feet. Radharani's lotus feet reacted at the touch of his tears. Sri Krishna requested Radharani with a very pathetic voice saying, "Rai, please save me, Rai, please save me." Still, Radha did not look upon him even once. Finally, Krishna, in sadness and while shedding tears, came out of the kunj. When Vishaka saw this, she could not control herself any longer. She said, "Radha, this is not proper for you to show your man to Krishna like this. You know very well that Sri Krishna is naturally wicked. Even knowing this, you have developed love for him. Now, you have no other way. But do not know, but do you know, Radha, he is very much attached to you. He cannot stay even for a moment without you. That is why you must please follow my request. Now give up your anger and try to please your lover." When Radha Rani heard this from Vishaka, she became very angry and replied, "Vishake, what kind of my most dear and chief Saki are you? You are also requesting me again and again about this wicked Krishna." Vishaka then informed Krishna about Radha's severe anger towards him. He said, "If Radharani will not be happy with me, then I will give up my life." Saki Vishaka could understand the mental pain and suffering of Sri Krishna and said, Nandan, the only way to please Radha is to meet with her." Hearing this from Vishaka, Krishna very eagerly asked, "Saki, please tell me, how can I meet Radharani?" Vishaka replied, "You can come there in the form of Shyama Saki, holding veena in your hand. We will glorify you and instruct you to play on a veena. When you play on veena, Rai will definitely be pleased with you. Inspired by Vishaka's idea, Krishna dressed himself like a musician and holding a veena in his hand, Krishna went to the assembly of Radharani and all Sakis. The Sakis allowed the musician to sit down. Radharani asked, "Who is this person?" Vishaka replied, "She is Shama Sati. Her service is to play on the veena. She has come here after hearing of your great qualities." Then Sri Radha ordered Shyamasaki to play on her instrument. Krishna, who is guru of all musicians, started to play her veena, creating a sweet sound vibration. When Radharani heard the nectarian sound of veena, she was in great ecstasy. Immediately she embraced Krishna, who was in distress of Shyamasaki. Shyamasaki also embraced Radharani and kissed her lips. By seeing this, all Sakis exclaimed, Jai Jai. In this way, Radharani's anger was removed. The place where this Leela was enacted is in Varsana and is called Manga. Okay, I'll stop here. In conclusion, with last, what is that? Vina Radha Prasadena Mama Kripa na Labhyate. This is very, very important. And I'll also finish off with the last one, the prayer that, yeah, I think we can learn easily. Radharani ki Jai, Maharani ki Jai. I think we also know this. बोलो बरसाने वाले की जय जय जय, ठाकुरानी की जय, हरि प्रिय की जय, वृषभानु दुलाली की जय जय, गौरांगी की जय, हेमांगी की जय, ब्रजराज कुमारी की जय जय जय, ब्रजरानी की जय, ब्रजदेवी की जय, गह वराना सॉरी गह वरा वना वाली की जय जय जय, श्रीमद राधारानी की जय, इस भक्त पुरुषोत्तम महाराज की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण। Thank you for your patience. Anyone want to share on this auspicious occasion? Anything? Or have any question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you Prabhuji for this nectarine katha. Prabhuji, Chandravali was not in the group of Radharani. Was it a different group?
Yeah, there is this one touch. Yeah, so there is two sides, two wings. One is Chandravali and one is Radharani. So they both are uh, competing to give love to Krishna. And this is also one may think that how come that there is competition in spiritual world. Yeah, in spiritual world also there is a competition, but very healthy competition where one want to give their best, uh, and through that they prove their, and then through that means they can attract Krishna more. Yeah,
Yes,
it is
Prabhuji.
also like a description how Chandravali appeared and how Radharani appeared when the demons were taking. One fell in, I don't know what is the village, forgot, and one fell in this Vrishabhanu Nagar. Yeah, so in that way. They both got separated. Actually, how many forms of Radharani were there? Or were there only Chandravali and Radharani? Only two forms. There Rakshas was taking. Or actually, there were only two. Yeah, Putana was taking only two. Okay. Yeah. So when Krishna, I mean, uh, I need to go through the details, but when Krishna was, yeah, when Krishna appeared, right? Do you remember Kamsa arranged Putana to kill? Yeah, but before that, there was also this pastime where we know that uh, when Kamsa knows that okay, there is a lady, girl, girl baby is born, and Mahashakti, so he wanted to kill all the girls. So he arranged, and in that process, Putana lifted Chandravali and Vrishabhanu. So, sorry, and Radharani. and while she was carrying these babies became so heavy that she could not carry any longer. She just dropped the babies from the sky. One fell here, the other fell the other, and then Vrishabhanu uh, and Keetida, right? So when Vrishabhanu was flying, then he came across this form of the Radharani, and he started taking care. This is in, I think you have already this book, right? In Shrimati Radharani Part 1. I mean, I just very quickly said, but yeah, there is a very nice detail explained there. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I think you guys already in the past also heard about the glories of Radharani. I think there are some new who have joined. How is it? How is this experience? And maybe you may have already heard, but
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, for me, I think first time I'm hearing the pastimes of Srimati Radharani in Sri Krishna, and it was very different feeling, Prabhuji, because in Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, it is very heavy and philosophical, and this is a complete playful and jovial mood of Krishna. So it was a very different morning, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
yeah, so just like a father at his home, he plays with his kids, and even if the kid is slapping, then he accepts it as love. Even if he gets angry, he will accept it. So the rasa, the mellow at home is different, and Vrindavan is Krishna's home, and Kurukshetra is his workplace, right? He was fixing up, establishing dharma. So the modes are different.
Absolutely, Prabhuji. Yeah. So it was very blissful, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
This is also what we see. I mean, even now, if we go to Vrindavan, we see the atmosphere is enchanted in the, by the love and affection for Krishna and especially for Radharani. Yeah, in Vrindavan, yeah, people call more Radha than Krishna because mm, Vrindavan is place of Radharani. Yeah, though Krishna, yeah, we say Krishna, Mathura, and all, but actually we see that it's the mood of Radharani. So she is the queen. Actually, there is also very nice in the same book. There is also description. Once all of them decide, hey, is it only Krishna is the king or like that? Let's make Radharani the queen. They do all arrangements, and there is a very nice description. So in that way, Vrindavan, queen of Vrindavan is Radharani.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I am also new to this. I am hearing the pastimes of Krishna and Radharani for the first time, and it was quite insightful because I got to um, know about various like glories of them. And also, I do have a question. You said that you told that we can achieve Radharani's mercy through devotional services. What all devotional services we can do, and what all it includes. I wanted to know about it.
Yeah. What pleases most Radharani is that if we take the name of the Lord, yeah, and especially in Kali Yuga when we take the chanting, when we are chanting the name of the Lord, it pleases the most. Uh, so that's why, I mean, when we are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, in that we are also calling out to Krishna, but Hare is also what is energy, and that is none other than Srimati Radharani. So through this chanting process, we are pleasing both. Why? Because we are calling out Krishna, so Radharani is pleased, and because in this reciting the Maha Mantra, we are also reciting the name of Radharani, which is none other than Hare. So in that way, Krishna is also pleased. In that way, we can please both the Lord and Lord Krishna and Radharani. So that is the best. And of course, apart from this, there are also based on our desire and our taste and our capacities. Yeah, there are so many preparations that I think particularly Mataji she shared. what one could make cook for the pleasure of Srimati Radharani on this special day. And another very nice opportunity that is only on 2 days a year, which is today. One of that is we can also see the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Yeah, if you see in the temples, mm, the lotus feet of Radharani is all usually covered except 2 days. One is Gopashtami and other one is Radhaashtami. So by having the darshan of the lotus feet, also we can pray that this is what, right? Gaur Govind Maharaj was saying what he said is that we should aspire for the dust. The easiest path is to ask for the dust from the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. By this we can attain the love of Godhead because she is the reservoir of love of Godhead. Mataji, I hope it answers your question.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Sorry. So whoever is in Germany, whoever is near Cologne, don't miss out. Come for the kirtan, come for service. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one question. I mean, how prem and bhakti are related? I mean, is it what is first? Is it bhakti gives the prem or prem gives the bhakti?
See, bhakti has different manifestations. Prem is the topmost manifestation of bhakti. Yeah. So prem is the manifestation, external manifestation through which we attain bhakti. So here, even Radharani, right, when she is offering, it is bhakti only. But what? In what form? That is what is prem. That's what we call love and devotion, isn't it? We should offer a service with love and devotion. Love means that we want to please others, and devotion is through the process. Yeah. So your question is about prem and bhakti, love and devotion. Whenever we are saying that we offer, it's a practical service. It's not like a theoretical or, it is a practical service, which means it is offered with our love, with our selflessness. That is love, and devotion is to dedicate ourselves because we are the servants. Yeah. Ramnaga Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm thinking. I mean, but what is first? Like, is it because of love we do devotional service, or when we do devotional service we achieve love?
Actually, love is innate. It is already there.
Mm-hmm.
It is only not manifesting. Just like the ability of a child to walk, it is already there.
Mm-hmm.
So the love is already there, but it's in dormant stage. And through the devotion, what happens is this love is manifesting in at a smaran, or it could be at kirtan, or or different limbs of devotional services through which it will manifest. So the love is there, and this love is uh, expressed to the process of devotion. Yeah.
So it goes like hand in hand. Like we express the love through devotional service, and the devotional service further strengthen the love or activate the love.
Okay. No, there is a attraction. There is a natural attribute of living entities to be attracted or to attract. So this is even Krishna, Akarshati iti Krishna. So Krishna is attracting, right? So what is that attraction? It is the loving propensity or loving nature. So that is always there. Just like Krishna is attracting, there is always there. Even we also have this. And what is that? That is love. But what is happening is because we are covered, that's why this is in dormant stage where our magnetic field is is not even perceived. The attraction towards Krishna, we are not even perceiving because of our conditioning. But through devotional process, what is happening is this cleaning is happening. Because of this cleaning, our love is mm, uh, we are getting a means of manifesting our love to Krishna, because love is anyway there. Now, because we have reprioritized it, then we start showing it. Because we are reprioritizing and expressing our love, yeah, that we are thinking about Lord and doing, what is happening is, it is said, I think yesterday where we read it, or I don't know, where it says that if we are taking one step, Krishna is taking 10 steps. I think, is it yesterday, right? In Prabhupada number, right?
Yeah.
It came there, or but
Yes,
in
Prabhuji,
that way,
correct.
what is happening? Lord is reciprocating. It means, just imagine when this magnet, which is heavy magnet, which is coming more further close, we get even more attracted, right? But still, what is happening is that there is still some covering. When you remove this, you get even more closer. So this devotional service is the means to express our love, which is in dormant, to actually the to purpose our love. Yeah, at the moment we are thinking the purpose of love is the purpose of the loving propensity in us. We think the purpose is what? To offer it to our country or to our people, family, and all. When we are understanding that the only purpose of this love is to offer it to the Lord, and how? That is through devotion. So devotion is the via medium through which we are offering our love. Yeah. So rather, I mean, the effect of it is, as you said, it could go in hand, but actually, it is not that it is increasing our love. The love is already there. It is only becoming more and more visible for us and for be able to serve. So devotional process is the cleaning process for us to express our love to the Lord.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because I also was having in the past now. I mean, the one that you were asking, I in the past was having this question: why everywhere it's written love and devotion, love and devotion? Yeah, because usually we were thinking, okay, but devotion is the process, and love is what I said that we have, what we want to offer. These are two things.
Okay. And Prabhuji, one other question. All the gopis and the sakhis, they are also manifestation of Shrimati Radharani, or they are manifestation of Krishna directly?
No, mm, there are different categories. I have to refer my book, but there are many categories. Right? There are many categories of gopis, but the main gopis, yeah, at least when we're talking about Ashtasakis, or even when we're talking about Lakshmis, all are Shakti avatars. So expansion of Shakti of Radharani. So Radharani is the fountain head in for all other expansions, whether it could be in the form of Sakis, yeah, or also the queens, mm, of the Lord. But then there are also other manifestations where the great Brahmanas who aspire to become wives of Krishna. So the Sakis, there are also that kind of Sakis. Yeah. There are these Krishna Sakis. Uh, I'll find. This is what I heard from Radhaashtami Prabhu. I mean, few years back when I was hearing it and came across this. There's a whole classification. There's a whole classification depending on, and some Sakis can enter into the Rasa Lila. Some Sakis cannot enter into Rasa Lila. So in that way, there is a whole classification. So who can enter other Shakti Tattvas and who cannot enter other Jiva Tattvas, and there is further explanation about it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you,
When
Prabhuji.
we get into this subject, right, it's so, I mean, there's so much detail, so much detail. There is Vidikta Madhava is there, Lalita Madhava is there. So many descriptions. They have so many details. Yeah, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur gives a very nice elaboration on these, but also at the same time very difficult to understand. Yeah, at some stage it might look like, okay, oh, these are all classification details and etc. Who is doing what service? It only shows how professionally things are, how how to the detail everything is done. Yeah. That, for example, some sakis offer tambul, some sakis offer chamar. Everything is very nicely described and who is who. Yeah. Yeah. One can read that to get an idea of how various sakis offer still service to finally to Radharani, and Radharani is the one who is offering service to Krishna. And on this day, we can pray also that, okay, please engage me in your service, because, yeah, Radharani is the best servitor of Krishna. Yeah, Ram Baba Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, there are so many books. If you go to Radha Vrindavan, right? So many books about these secret, confidential subject matters. There's so many books. Yeah, but again, there is this. Yeah, what we are allowed to read, what not. Yeah, so we have to be careful.
Yes, Prabhuji. For me, it's a long way to go.
Even if you take 10th canto or 90th chapter, also you start reading so many descriptions about what are the dealings of the Lord with his queens or gopis and all. It becomes too difficult to understand. Okay. Yeah, very difficult subject matter. So how can we understand? Even for those cases, there is no purpose. Prabhupada didn't give purpose. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay, we are good to close then. Thank you so much. Saptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavameshwari Shipasate Devi Pranamami Haripriye Manchakatvirabhyascha Kripasindhubhyo Chapairanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare